Everyone is part of a bigger story. It's a bigger story than you can imagine. It's a big story about a really big God. Discover the story that shows you the character of God.
Whoa! Hey, I'm Jose, and trust me, you've got to see this. It's my Bible, and we can fire it up and take a trip straight through God's Word. Watch. Oh, yes, it's filled with incredible true stories about men and women and kids and families who go on adventures and experience amazing things. And just like in every good story, the going gets tough sometimes. The people in God's story face difficult situations, but in each case, God is calling them to depend on Him. That's trust, placing your confidence in someone you can depend on. And I've got 4 stories right here from the life of a guy named Joseph that show us what trust looks like. Oh, we get started in the first book of the Bible, Genesis chapter 37. Oh, here, well, we meet Joseph, the great-grandson of Abraham. Yeah. Joseph is the next to youngest of 12 brothers. His dad, Jacob, plays favorites and gives Joseph a brand new coat. To top things off, Joseph brags to his older brothers about dreams he's had where his brothers bow down to him. Now, Joseph's brothers are so annoyed they do something horrible. And it's a lot worse than locking Joseph out of his room. In fact, it's so terrible, he may never see home again. Time to skip ahead a couple of chapters. To chapter 40. Here, Joseph is starting to find his place in a new land far from home. And Joseph, although he's a slave, he keeps trusting God and does so well he's put in charge of a huge estate. But once again, someone's out to get him. And Joseph's thrown in jail for something he didn't even do. Still, Joseph knows God is with him and doesn't give up. Let's make a quick jump to chapter 41. God has given Joseph the ability to know what dreams mean. So when Pharaoh, king of the whole land, has a strange dream, he calls for Joseph. And Joseph's brought straight from prison to stand before Pharaoh. Ooh, talk about pressure. If he can't pull this off, who knows what Pharaoh will do. But Joseph trusts God, and God gives him the meaning of the dream. Pharaoh's so amazed, he not only pulls Joseph out of jail, but puts him in charge of the entire country. Now we follow Joseph's story into Genesis chapter 42. Here, Joseph meets his brothers again for the first time since he was a kid, and they were so terrible to him. But now, Joseph's the one in charge. He's got the chance to punish his brothers and make them pay for what they did. But instead, he trusts that God has had a plan all along. So, instead of throwing his brothers in jail, or worse, he chooses to forgive and invites them to come live near him. Amazing. Joseph's story has even more villains and trouble than your favorite movie. But through it all, he's got confidence God will make it right in the end. That's trust. And God's calling you and me to trust Him too.